Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we try to reason through some of the weird internet phenomena or phenomenon? Whatever. Try to reason through different internet things that are going on. Do that with humor and a little bit of common sense, or at least my common sense, which may not align with your common sense, so hey, take it all with a grain of salt. This is the second part, alpha men versus beta men. They're having a discussion. Today's question is about submissive women and are they more attractive than dominant women? If you didn't watch the first part, please click the link in the bottom here on the screen. Otherwise, let's jump right in.
Submissive women are more attractive than dominating women.
Oh, hell yeah. You know. Hell yeah. Listen, my shirt says submissive women are sexy. Okay, so.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true.
Why the hell is he so goddamn excited to run up? Why is he wearing a shirt that says submissive women are sexy?
And look, I think one of the most beautiful things about love is being able to fully take care of a woman in every way, whether that's emotionally, protecting, providing, everything about that. Like every fairy tale that was ever written for all of time was about a man saving a woman from a castle and a dragon, right? And I have nothing against women being empowered, but I do feel like the happiest women in the world are the ones that look up to a man and that he can fight every day to love her and love his kids and his family and provide. In, let's say, the 30s, 40s, 50s, or whenever, you know, we were having nuclear families stay together before we went off the gold standard and inflation pushed everybody to have two people have to have a job. Yeah, dude, I do. I think those relationships are much happier when the man can lead a house and be proud of going out and going to work every day and fighting for his family.
I know exactly what he's talking about. I've talked about this before. That's a typical gender role. I mean, we all kind of get that. That's the typical gender roles, that what he's referring to. The challenge that ultimately you will have is that society isn't like that anymore. That's just not how it is. You know, women are being more educated, and with education comes more money that they can make, right, if they choose to go into a career. Ultimately, you just end up in a place where women are, you know, doing those same things that men would do, you know, earning money similar or more. And so men don't necessarily have that traditional role anymore. And there's just no way we're going to go back. It will never go back to the way it was. So we just have to deal with where we are now and look ahead and say, okay, what can we do in our current predicament, in our current relationship?
I think I have a unique perspective in that I've worked with a lot of high-performing women that operate in this dominant role. And with every woman that I've worked with, there is this deep, deep, deep desire, regardless of what she says externally, to submit to the leadership of a man that she knows can properly hold down the emotional space and really put her interest at the forefront.
Let's play a little game here. You can have two options, doesn't matter your gender. One, you can be with somebody who fills the gaps in your knowledge tree or in your skill tree as a person that you don't cover. So now let's say you're with a man or a woman who has those deficiencies. Let's say you're a terrible cook, they're a really good cook, right? And they're dependable, they're whatever, right? Like they're there for you, they're supportive, etc. Or you can be with somebody who has the same skills as you, or doesn't have hardly any skills, is not dependable, isn't able to really bring much value to your life. It's like, regardless of gender, guys, you all end up in that same position. When he talks about holding down that space, you're basically just speaking to the generic version of a woman. Now, not all women are the same, but in general, women are being more emotional. If they can rely on a man who isn't as emotional to provide that stability in the relationship, say, you know what, babe, don't worry. We got this. We'll get through this. We'll work through it together, and that provide that reassurance. Of course she's going to feel better about that. And of course she's going to want to be with that person, even though she might stand there and be like, I'm the super strong person, I'm going to do this. We all have weak moments in life, even men. There's certain times in our relationship where we're like, hey, I had a real shit day. I want to come home and I just want to get a hug and a kiss and like a snuggle from my partner and somebody rub my back. You want somebody who's going to be that rock for you in whatever way that you need. It's not about man or woman. This is a human thing. We all have tough times. We're all not great at everything.
Right, because when a woman is dominant over that man, she can't respect him.
As somebody who has firsthand experience with this kind of thing from my previous relationship, she was trying to dominate me, and she lost respect for me because she was constantly trying to dominate me, and I was losing affection and respect for her because she was trying to do that. I would agree with the sentiment, but I think it goes both ways. It's not just a one-sided thing. The individuals have to look at themselves like, why were you doing that? Why were you doing that? And I realized for myself, why was I acting in that way? Because I was looking to get approval. I didn't want to disappoint her. And the reason I didn't want to disappoint her is because of childhood trauma with being told that I was always disappointing people. Reliving that trauma of not trying to disappoint people, not trying to disappoint my parents and people in my life. Now, for her, it was actually the same thing. It was issues from her childhood that was causing her to be so dominant. It didn't make her happy. Like, she was not happy being dominant. She wanted me to be the one to lead and do the different decisions of things, but she couldn't just let it go because she could not deal with the fact that I might disagree with her on something and say, hey, actually, we're not going to do this, we're going to do that. And then it would just like trigger her, and she was like, I cannot stop. It was like automatic response. It's complicated. Sometimes this is not just a simple thing.
Look at the word submission. Sub, under, a mission. If I have a mission and this woman is under my mission, meaning I'm leading her, right? Then that is a actual good relationship that's going to flourish.
The best relationship would be you guys working on a mission, a co-mission that you're doing together. It is not just your mission. You have both agreed on the mission, and you're saying, we are going in this direction, and you're pulling your carts. The two horses are pulling the cart in one direction. I think everybody innately knows this. I don't think anybody's going to sit there and be like, well, actually, you want her going off in this direction, and then you want to go in this direction, and then you're going to divide and conquer, and then reconvene later and bring back your spoils, and it's going to be like amazing.
It's got to be a man worth getting behind, and weak men are the reason why this is a problem.
A weak anybody. Let's be real. A weak anybody.
There were just a few things that I disagree. I think women just want to be able to look to the side and see their partner as an equal. I don't think they're trying to be men. I think what they're realizing is that the qualities that they were looking for in men, they've always had it within themselves.
I just think that you can never actually have all the qualities that you actually need in a relationship in yourself. Like, you can never be all things. It's just not possible. There'll always be things that you don't have.
If women are submissive, it's mostly for, I want to say, like, the validation for the man. I think they know in the back of their heads, like, they know now that they can do things on their own. I don't think they necessarily need a man, but I think what they're looking for is that intimacy to have a partner.
But listen to what you're saying right now. They have those qualities within themselves. They don't need a man. They're just submitting to make him, his ego or whatever, to make him feel better about himself. But they only need you for intimacy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, just, it sounds so dishonest. Like, it's just like we're faking it. I'm faking it to make you feel nice. We can say this about men too, because men literally say the same thing. We don't need a woman. Like, we can do everything. I mean, we just need a woman for sex. It's the same argument, just on the other side. We need each other, and that's that. We both have different strengths and weaknesses. And they're not all the same between each man and woman. The concept that you don't need a man or you don't need a woman is stupid.
But I don't think that they require one.
Oh, no, they do. Because, a lot of these girls, they usually go home and cry at night from being lonely, from not having a man. They have all these things, and then they're upset they don't have a man. You know what I mean? And I heard you say that, women want to be the man's equal, but you don't see, and maybe this could just be a societal thing, a societal pressure, but you don't see women doing things that could make them equal to the men. You don't see the women approaching the men. You don't see the woman paying for the dates. You don't see the woman being more assertive to the man. You see what I'm saying? So where's that at?
Yeah, I mean, I want to go on free meal dates. Go on a date with a woman. She pays for dinner. I just get a free meal, and then I peace out because I'm not actually interested in her and I just want free food. I'm ready to sign up for that shit. Can I get on that band train? Somebody, please? I still got time. It can still happen.
Because they got options. They got so much more options than
Well,
men.
I'll tell you what you do see. You see a high level of women on antidepressants more than ever, right? And I think that's a bunch of women trying to cope with trying to be like a man.
Yeah, it could be a bunch of women trying to cope to be like a man. It could also be like tens of thousands of other things. In society, we broadcast all this sort of crazy news about different fighting and crimes and things that are being committed, how everything's gone to crap. It's like every day there's some new thing that's like going wrong that you hear about. I don't think it's just about trying to be a man. I think it's just we are exposed to too much now. It just wrecks your brain because you just see all these different things and you're like, wow, we're really screwed.
Let me ask you a question. Are you more attracted to a woman that has a high-paying job or to a woman's beauty?
That doesn't matter to me.
It does matter. It does matter to me.
What do you want in a woman? Just a sexual partner, like you said before?
If we're saying that women, you know, they're like going home crying, looking for men, I think it's also that societal pressure that tells you at the same time you have to have multiple women. They're telling the women you have to have that one man, that husband, by a certain age, have kids by a certain age.
Did you just bring up a biological fact that women stop producing eggs by a certain age, and that as they get older, it becomes much harder to have children, or at least children that are healthy? There's much more risk with pregnancy. Did you just bring that all up and say that it was a societal pressure? I feel like he doesn't live in society, because a lot of society right now, especially if you're a younger woman, is about going out there and making money. Even a younger man, just go out there and make money and get a good job. That's what it is.
Lack of a better term, I think men have gotten off a lot easier because women have so much pressure and they get judged more harshly than men do.
It's totally subjective to depending what you're talking about. If you're talking about having a family, then yeah, women have it harder, and yeah, women maybe get judged more. But if you're talking about a woman like fixing a car, they're not like, hey, how come you didn't fix your car? Why'd you take it to the repair shop? But as a guy, you might be like, hey man, you couldn't change the tire, what's wrong with you?
And I'll also say that for people of color, we never really had the luxury of working one job. So my parents, you know, their parents before them, everybody always had to work.
Again, a mischaracterization based on your circumstance. There are people of color who make a lot of money who didn't have to do that.
And I also would like to ask, if you guys find submissive women more attractive than dominant women, is that because it makes you feel more validated as a man, or is there something there that you feel like feeds into your purpose as a man?
Yeah, well, it's a balance. If I'm a dominant person, I need a submissive. If I meet a dominant woman, we're gonna butt heads.
What if that changes? Like, what if she grows? Because I would love everybody to be able to grow throughout life. What if she starts becoming more dominant? Is that like a...
Are you saying if she starts becoming more dominant in a relationship?
More dominant or equal to your dominant?
Oh yeah, she's gone. She's finished.
Get out of here! All right, Mr. Lucario. I guess I should have expected as much with his extreme views, seeing that he literally goes by Mr. in his last name instead of like his first name like everybody else.
I don't need somebody else to take care of. And I love your thing about, you know, the Prince Charming and everything. But you know what I need? I need a badass who can match my badass energy. I work with my wife, and I'm gonna tell you, I take care of her, she takes care of me, and she's badass. And that's what I'm attracted to. I don't need a submissive that I have someone to take care of. But I'm not looking for somebody, another child to take care of and have to dominate and tell, you go over there, this is where we're gonna go to dinner, this is where we're gonna do that.
Nobody seems to know what the definition of submissive means, or at least they're interpreting it in a way like this person does nothing. You're fulfilling a role, but you're doing something different. Just because she's submissive doesn't mean that she literally does nothing and all you do is take care of her. No one is going to be in a relationship with somebody who brings no value.
Okay, that totally makes sense. I think if we're talking about men not ever dealing with their emotions, it makes sense for this argument that you guys are talking about. But I'm a firm believer. I have gotten a lot of therapy in my life. I've done a lot of things for myself personally to resolve my own internal conflict. A real man is someone that understands himself deeper at an emotional level, has taken the time to do that so he can show up as a rock, not so he can show up more emotionally.
So, I mean, you guys know dominatrix exists for
A reason.
everything. And by the way, I used to personal train at dominatrix. You guys are their clients.
Not me, cowboy.
I'm being serious. Like, it's a very hidden thing. I used to date them. High positions of power, very alpha. But like, here's the thing. I think you guys put a little bit too much pressure on yourselves. It might be a societal thing. I've dated submissive women before. I find them highly annoying. Sometimes I just want somebody to pick a choice.
So it sounds like you want to be gay then.
We do butt heads once in a while because she is dominant. But Does that mean she lost respect or attraction for me? No. It does depend on your energy. You have a very high one, right? Maybe it doesn't mix well with somebody who also has a really high dominant energy. I'm not saying that's wrong because they exist for a reason, submissive people, right? But I just think for me, when it's very submissive, I don't find that as sexy. I find that annoying.
But see, and that makes sense. And the reason why, what happens is the more masculine you are, the more you want the woman to be submissive. The more dominant she is, then the more.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty fucking masculine, dude. And I don't want somebody that submissive.
I'm saying that in that moment you're in your feminine, but go ahead.
In that moment, you're in your feminine. So good, brah. You're in your feminine. Yeah, bro, you in your feminine. You just a little girly here in your little dollhouse.
If you and your wife have like a conversation about a disagreement, and then you got like a healthy conversation, and then she ends up being right in the situation, would you consider her dominating me?
No, I consider her right.
Are you serious, bro? If she's right in a situation, is she dominating you because she's right? This is what I mean, man. They're fighting straw men of each other, whatever. They put like some straw man up and like, I think I know exactly what you mean. Ha 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 ha. I win. I just checkmated you. Who thinks that? Who would ever think that? If a woman is ever right about anything, she dominated me.
No, it's not about right and wrong. It's about who's running the show.
So by her being right, is that not her right?
No, that's just her being right in that conversation.
Yeah, a good leader would allow someone else to be right. A good leader doesn't have to be right. He wants the team to win. In fact, I'd call a man insecure if he wouldn't allow a woman to be right on the subject she was clearly.
I like that.
I do like that. And, it goes back to the question of, like, what do you find more attractive? Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a preference.
What's the preference? It's a preference. One of the things you said is, like, when you and your partner or girlfriend get into something and it's, like, a little heated, like, I get off on that.
Me, I totally don't get off on that. Like, I don't need any back talk. I don't need any lip. I don't need any attitude. It's my way or the highway. Like, I don't want none of it.
We only do missionary. It's the only position that's allowed. Because if she's ever on top and in control, that's just a no-go. I don't allow it. I don't allow it. Only the one position. Okay. Fine. I will let her also give a BJ. But other than that, there is nothing going on there. Nothing else.
Even have a conversation in the first place about the disagreement.
You're not having that conversation.
No.
So you just want to be challenged. You don't want to be challenged.
She's like, nope, no back talk. I'm right.
That's a different thing. If we're talking about a topic and she's right about the topic, that's just how I'm talking about the topic.
An opinion of yours or things that.
No, I'm talking about.
Disagrees with.
If you're like an opinion, you're saying you want no back.
No. I'm not talking about opinions. I'm talking about decisions. So we can have a conversation about a topic, but when it comes to a decision, the final decision is mine.
Let me change my word. If we're to have a healthy discussion about a decision, which she disagrees.
She says I disagree.
Right. She says, so if we say, hey, she wants to do A, B, and C. And I say, no, I want to do D, E, and F. Right? We're doing D, E, and F at the end of the day. Now, I will listen to what she says. And if I think A, B, and C sounds better, then I say, okay, yeah, let's do A, B, and C. Because
that sounds bad talk in the first place.
No. That's
even entertain the conversation?
No, that's what I'm saying. If we're having a conversation, that's cool. I'm saying the final decision, though, is mine. So you can speak your mind, but at the end of the day, I'm making the final decision.
So it's like, I'm going to let you talk.
Yeah, let you talk, yes.
In the end, I don't really care. I'm going to do what I want.
I said I care.
Now there's the typical alpha male that everybody thinks of when they think of alpha male. That's what they picture. Oh, you want to go do that? You want to go do these things? But I want to go do these things, so we're doing these things, and we're always going to do my things because I'm the man.
Like, submissive does not mean incompetent, and I think you might have been talking about women that could be incompetent, where they don't have the capacity to take care of themselves at all or make any type of decision. So I think there's definitely a difference in how she shows up in the relationship compared to being able to make decisions in her everyday life.
Sure, but he doesn't want them to make decisions.
They're coming back to him again, dude. You just keeps digging himself a bigger and bigger hole. Even the other alpha guys are like, dude, you're whack, bro.
No, I didn't say I didn't want them to make decisions.
I'll say this.
No, your decision's the final, no matter what.
Some of the strongest women in the world right now are sitting in submissive roles because they're strong enough to think for themselves and do what they feel good in their heart. Because there are women that do want to be submissive naturally. And some of those women are the strongest women in the world right now, especially when the world's telling them to go be something that they don't want to be.
Damn, it's almost like we're back to the idea that people are different and they like different things. And not everybody's going to want to have the same kind of relationship or have the same kind of partner. where did this radical notion come from that we're like actually kind of like individual, but a little bit similar, but still individuals? Like, this is wild, bro. It's not like we ever had these thoughts ever before in life.
I do agree that honestly it is a choice, it's a preference. You know, we shouldn't speak upon like everybody. Obviously, like it's always a gray area. It's a range. It's not one side or the other. And if you guys want to be in a relationship where the woman is submissive and the woman also wants to be in a relationship where the male is dominant, that's completely fine.
Oh shit. It looks like they all agree again. How does this keep happening? I don't understand. How does this keep happening? They go full circle. They're like, blah, 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 this is crazy shit. And then, oh, we agree. We're okay. You're allowed to be an individual. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you didn't watch the first part, you can click the link below to watch that. And then the third part will be dropping tomorrow. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe as well if you enjoyed this. And we'll see you again next time.